marijuana-related substances. There were 454 in 2018 and 284 in 2017. MHP Sergeant Jay Nelson says the agency can't point to one factor to explain the entire increase.
I think it's a combination of all of this. I mean, to say specifically it's about legalization, I don't think we have the data to show that.
Another trend has been a jump in DUI samples showing multiple substances. In 2021, the crime lab reported 127 cases where someone tested positive for both alcohol and THC, and 205 where they showed alcohol, THC, and another drug. Pepper Peterson, president and CEO of the Montana Cannabis Guild, says that data backs up their contention that few drivers are being cited for marijuana impairment alone.
What we're seeing is that people who are traditionally impaired on something might be adding marijuana to the mix.
The increase in reported cases also comes as law enforcement puts a greater emphasis on finding cases of drug-related impairment. For the last few years, all MHP troopers have gone through training to identify signs, and some undergo more extensive work to become drug recognition experts.
And it's just so important in today's use where we have poly drug use statewide.
Currently, 27 MHP troopers out of more than 250 statewide are trained as drug recognition experts, and leaders say that shows the emphasis they're trying to put on addressing DUI. In Boulder, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
Now it's time for First Weather with Chief Meteorologist Curtis Gravenitz. And Curtis, it looks like there is active weather not here.
Yeah, and you know what? We'll take it here in Montana. Quiet day, fire danger not too high. The wind not that bad. Temperature's a little bit cooler. It's a pretty nice summer's day out there for a lot of the state. However, we do have activity. Yes, lightning strikes, but also some pretty good wetting rains here. Just off towards our west, there's an axis of monsoon moisture that's making its way pretty far north, and eventually that will come through the state of Montana. Now tomorrow, eastern Montana, we've got a red flag warning and a heat advisory. Same goes for parts of Washington and Oregon and northern California, but all of this green relating to flood potential, and these thunderstorms will produce not only lightning strikes, but also some rain, and who knows, maybe a rainbow. Lori Rowe grabbed this picture the other day from Elk Park. Love that little area. We'll talk more about the prospects of lightning and liquid with the thunderstorms. We're under cover of clouds here, kind of keeping the temperatures down, and we've been breathing easy. We'll talk about air quality in the full forecast coming up.
Gas prices continue to fall, but the national average still sits over 40 cents higher than this time last year. Today, AAA reported the national average for a regular gallon of gas is $4.03. That's down 2 cents from yesterday and down 66 cents from this time last month. In Montana, the state average still skews higher than the national average at $4.29 a gallon. That's down 60 cents from this time last month. But as the price at the pump might drop, your energy bill may be seeing an increase as soon as October. Northwestern Energy asked the Public Service Commission to approve a temporary rate hike while the company awaits the commission's decision on a higher permanent rate increase. MTN's Ashley Nurbavig has the story.
Montana electric and natural gas customers may need to brace themselves for a price increase in the next year. Under a rate hike proposed by Northwestern Energy this week, residential customers' average monthly electric bill would increase by about 26% and an average natural gas bill by about 11%. Northwestern Energy asked the Montana Public Service Commission to approve the rate increase, citing about $1 billion in infrastructure investment since the company last raised rates. Company Vice President and Chief Financial Officer Crystal Lale said Northwestern last set its electric rates in 2018 and its natural gas rates in 2016.
Since then, we've invested over $1 billion in the state of Montana in critical infrastructure. So the why now is we're coming in to adjust our prices just like everyone else based off costs going up for us. The important part from a customer perspective is we want to be a financially sound company to continue to serve customers the way they want to be served.
The proposed rate hike would increase an average electric bill by about $23 a month. An average gas bill would increase by about $8 a month. However, the Montana Public Service Commission takes about 9 months to rule in a rate case. Even if it does side with the company and approve the increase, it's about a year until those rates are put into place. In the meantime, Northwestern Energy also asked the PSC to approve a lower, temporary rate increase, which would raise the average residential electric bill by about 16% and the average natural gas bill by about 2%. Under the interim rates, the average monthly electric bill would increase by about $14 and the average natural gas bill by about $2.
We understand that it's incredibly tough for customers right now. Pricing on everything is going up. And importantly, we want customers to know that we have resources to help them. So that's one of the most important things that we could get out there in this conversation is to reach out to our customer folks, speak to them about programs that are available for assistance, those sorts of things.
The price increase is still just a proposal, and the public, the Montana Consumer Council, and other entities will have a chance to intervene before the Public Service Commission makes its final decision within the next 9 months. In Helena, Ashley Nurbovig, MTN News.
Kia owners, listen up. The automaker is recalling some older sedans because plates in the ceiling can come loose. The recall covers certain 2012 and 2013 Optimas. Kia says headliner plates on both sides of the cars may not be secured properly, and it warns they could detach when the side curtain airbag is deployed and hit drivers or passengers. One person was hurt because of this. Owners are urged to take their vehicles into a Kia service center to have the plates fixed. A well-known member of the Helena Police Department has retired. Filu, the department's explosives canine, wrapped up his career after serving the Helena community for 10 years. Now he gets to go home and enjoy retirement.